Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and this, of course, is Everything Titans, the weekly Tennessee Titans podcast from NGSC Sports. Uh, well, you know what time it is. No, that's not that time. It's this time.
Quick snap. Henry, he's going to pass it. Touchdown. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. Tennessee has pulled a miracle. And that's going to be picked off at the 24 by Myers for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible long question. Just continue to stay consistent and focus on improvement.
What you doing? All right. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We're going to start the show off with some sad news. Unfortunately, we learned a few days ago that Frank Wycheck, former Tennessee Titans tight end, and of course, man who was in the middle of the Music City Miracle, gone too soon as he fell in his Chattanooga home and hit his head. Still getting details on this, but Frank Wycheck is dead at 52, gone way too soon. He's also made sure that his family is aware that he wants to make sure that his brain is tested for CTE or any other brain injuries. We know how that's affecting a lot of athletes, especially football players and boxers. So condolences to the Wycheck family, his wife, his children, everybody there, to the Tennessee Titans family. Frank was a big part of the Titans family, guys. You know, when we talk about Titans past, you know, you're quick to bring up Steve McNair. You're quick to bring up Eddie George. Now you might even quick to bring up, say, Blaine Bishop or Freak or somebody. But a big part of that Tennessee Titans success through the years, and I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, family, Steve McNair's security blanket was Frank Wycheck, because anytime he needed that check down, he knew he can go to 89. Bro, you know,
oh yeah,
it's hard because, you know, we're so close to this football team. Wycheck, of course, coached not only to the team but to the community. He, of course, was on the morning show for years as well. He finally left that a couple of years ago. Joe, little bro, your thoughts on Frank Wycheck?
Pillar of the community. Everybody loved Frank Wycheck. I mean, you could arguably say that he's the first or second best pass catcher in Titans history.
Yeah.
You could argue him and Derek Mason. I mean, after that, we traded away, you know. So Frank Wycheck, his legacy shall live on. I was choked up a little bit with my cousin Antoine when the Tweez reached out to me and let me know the news, because I was on the road back from Atlanta when I found out. And so, you know, it was fitting what happened yesterday against the Dolphins, which you could say was quite the miracle the day after Frank Wycheck passing. A key instrument, a key player in, as you said, the Music City Miracle. But, you know, that's
good.
Yeah. Wycheck is one of those. You know, he's a baller. I mean, he was dependable, blocking, pass catching. I mean, you know, when the Titans came here, and it's funny, I never got to see McNair play, even though he hardly missed a game. But the way the universe works out, whatever Titans games we went to, McNair wasn't playing. Like, he was just too injured to play. So, you know, saw the backups, and then with Wycheck, Wycheck was always like you said, Raph, a security blanket. But I mean, he was always at the right place at the right time, and he was a playmaker and a hell of a teammate. And I'm wearing this McNair jersey. I wish I had a Wycheck jersey, and it's something I might add to my collection moving forward.
Wouldn't that be cool? So listen, guys, in memory and out of respect to Frank Wycheck, one more time.
Do the Titans have a miracle left in them in what has been a magical season to this point? If they do, they need it now. Christie kicks it high and short. Going to be fielded by O'Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson.
He's got something.
30,
He's got
40,
something.
50,
He's got it.
40,
He's got it.
20, 10.
He's got it.
End zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle.
Do the Titans have a miracle left in?
Tell me that and put chills in you right now, because it sure put chills in me.
And I remember where I was. I didn't go to that game. I couldn't watch it on TV because I was interviewing for a job on a Saturday morning or around the time. That game was on a Saturday. Interviewing for a job. So I just left the interview, and when I turned on the radio, they were down. And that kickoff was occurring. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden, this call happens. Everybody, I'm on the interstate in traffic. Everybody just started honking horns. Beep, beep, beep. And I knew it was because the Titans did this Music City Miracle play. Yeah, I got chills right now.
For real, because I was at home, of course, watching the game. And it's funny you say about the horns. Number one, obviously, as y'all did too, I lost my damn mind when it happened. As the play was happening, I'm just screaming to the top of my lung. And outside, horns start blowing, and I go out, and I head towards Old Hickory Boulevard. I live in Madison. I'm heading out towards Old Hickory Boulevard. Horns blowing everywhere, man. People coming out of houses, out their house, businesses, man. I said, listen, I'm going in my car. I went down the street, Gallatin Road, Old Hickory Boulevard. People was losing their minds that day. Boy, it was a special day for a special season. And like I said, we can talk. And McNair, sometimes I feel like we need to do a show on Steve McNair just to talk about, but he knew he had Frank there. And again, Frank Wycheck, such a big part, like Zoe said, not just of the Titans, but the community. What's up, Cuz?
And he spoiled us. He set the standard for tight end play in this city, in this market. He spoiled us.
We ain't had one since.
Delaney.
Okay, give Delaney his prop. Yeah. You're right. Give Delaney his prop.
And then Delaney, yes, but Zoe, you smiling there? What's up?
Delaney was great. I liked him. I really did. He was a really good pass catcher. Arguably, he's probably top 5 in our pass catchers list. Notice that 2 tight ends are in that list. But anyway, Frank Wycheck, I remember that game. And where I was delivering pizzas for Papa John's at the time.
You was working too.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I was delivering pizzas for Papa John's at the time. And when the play happened, I started blowing my horn. I look over. I see people jumping inside their car. They started blowing their horns. I was actually coming down. Gallatin Pike, and I remember where I was that later on that season. We got to the Super Bowl. I remember I missed the first half of the Super Bowl working, delivering pizzas at Papa John's. I got back at halftime to see how the game finished up. So, yeah, there's got a lot of memories tied to Frank Wycheck. I mean, when you really think about it, Steve McNair, Frank Wycheck, and Eddie George, they are.
That was the heart and soul right there.
Blaine Bishop, Marcus Robertson.
But they came over. They came over in the transition, and And last one left, you really last two left, Blaine and Eddie. They need to take care of themselves. It's really at first before I found out about the fall, the first thing that came to my mind was the CTE stuff because Frank was struggling in his later days. That's why he had to, quit after 12 years on the air. He had to cut it short. So,
and who's to say it didn't contribute to the fall? I mean, I guess we won't know until.
And I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that because first you start thinking, when he fell, they say he hit his head. So you start thinking, so how hard did he hit his head? How far was the fall? How hard was the hit?
And with him being 52, that's only a 5-year difference. So it hurt me. It hurt me when I saw the like literally, like my heart.
Oh no, it hurt. It hurt.
Yeah, I mean it's just too close because it can happen to anyone. You can fall at home by yourself, whether it's downstairs. My grandfather, when it took what led to his death on my mom's side, my maternal grandfather was falling down the stairs.
I was definitely choked up for a moment, and based on that, we got a home game coming up against Houston, and they'll probably go do the
Yeah, we're going.
So I guess it depends on what happens on this week we get here.
Yeah. But okay, yeah.
And bro, I'm sorry, we need a C at the end of there. Why check? Like why check mark?
Why? Yeah.
He's so good.
Listen,
I had to look it up myself because I'm
gonna say thank you, Frank Wycheck, for some of the best football memories of my life, especially, me, a New Yorker, big Giant fan. I just moved to Tennessee, up to Nashville 7 years earlier, really into the Titans. And, we were with y'all right there when you guys played in Memphis and you came to Nashville to play at Vanderbilt and had to wait for the stadium to be built. And obviously, understand some people. I'm New York Giants, man. I grew up with the New York Giants. That's my team. To see my team win 2 Super Bowls, to be able to say that my team had one of the best players in NFL history in Lawrence Taylor, to watch what he was able to do. But in 1999, that year, Zoe, point to it, Zoe. That year, I became tightened up, baby.
Yeah.
I became tightened up that year.
You said 2 Super Bowls, not 4. Yeah.
Two giant Super Bowls, man. I got to enjoy that, man. But
it was that Phil Simms, Jeff Hostetler joints. I get
my boys back home. I get all my boys back home. Blah, blah, blah. You Giants, you this, you that. So I straighten them out. We'll move on to the next topic when I'm finished with this. Anybody back home in New York watch this shit and wonder? Here's the answer to the question. I am doors to the floor. Smashville. I am Vol for life, and I am tightened up. That's who I am. I love my Giants. I love all my New York teams, but Frank Wycheck, gone too soon. Rest in peace, Frank. And hey, God got a tight end. God got another tight end. So, by the way, remember the website. It is NGSCsports.com where you catch all of your current content. Make sure you log on. I want to thank everybody, of course. Got about 500,000 to 750,000 of you that log on every month. John and I still try to figure out how that happened, but we ain't trying. We don't care. Thank you so much for continuing to log on. Pay attention, of course. We're headed to all kinds of bowl games. I'm waiting for the answer from NRG. I'm crossing my fingers. It is a possibility I will be taking a flight in a couple of weeks to Houston, Texas for the NCAA football championship game.
Okay. All right. Fingers crossed.
I had to do a little talking. We were denied. So I told him, thank you so much for that. I was just hoping we had a better shot because we should be on the media list at NRG. So the guy comes back and says, whoa, wait a minute. Let me check on that for you. About 20 minutes later, he says, yeah, I see you on the list. I tell you what I could do. He said, I'll credential you right now for all the events except the game. I'll find out Wednesday if I could get you into the game. So cross your fingers because I got a flight reserved to Houston. No doubt. Of course, it'd be nice to be back in Houston, Texas. So we're going to go to the game. Of course, there's the Titans' big win in Miami last night on Monday Night Football. But before we talk about the game, we know that fantasy football and sports betting have become so huge. And I'm not a big bettor, but my brother and my cousin, they partake plenty. And, talk me into it. They didn't have to really talk me into it. Let me go ahead and hang out with the family and stuff. And I know you guys had a conversation, and then my brother called me last night. And, one of the things that we knew this. We didn't know this, but we were wondering, were we going to see another Denver Bronco game? Was Miami going to score 70, 77, 60?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So we kind of figured that out because we talked about it all week. Also, I remember last night, bro, when you and I were talking about Will Levis, 300 yards. Nah, don't touch that. You're not going to get 300 yards.
That's right.
I feel like we spoke it into existence. We had,
That's
it was like an hour before the game.
That's what happened.
Me and Zoe had the call, was like, you know what? What if the opposite happens?
Dude, at the end of the call,
everything that we expect, the opposite is going to happen.
Joe told me at the end of the call, he said, the only way this goes wrong is if the complete opposite happens and the Titans defense shows up, shuts down the Miami offense, shuts down Tyreek Hill, and Will Levis gets 300 yards.
Honestly, we didn't talk about his injury to Hill.
What I tell you, bro? I told him
we wanted the
happen.
defense to shut him down.
Hey,
I mean, right? We'll take it. We'll take it, right, Bailey?
I'll definitely take it.
We'll take it.
She likes it. She likes it. As all, hey, I trust in the dogs. In the dogs, I trust.
Why yours chilling? She needs to just chill.
Look at that. Hey, she love that. They love them pillows. Boy.
I need to bring her over there, Ralph.
Love them pillows. Hey, I wish you would.
All right, we can plan it out.
My boy was over here today because his power was off. He was over here with his cat, and the cat was in the carry case. I'm like, come on, Dex, come on out. So my dog's creeping up on Dex. Dex is like, and they like, oh, shit, that cat is a bad motherfucker, boy. They ain't fucking with that motherfucker. They said, fuck it. All right, here we go. Seriously. Keisha Jackson, hi, baby. Love you.
You say no Pittsburgh talk.
Yeah, if y'all don't no comments on the Steelers, damn it, or I'm gonna fine you $25 every time you say something Steelers. No Steelers.
Okay. My bad. I've been a little bit disengaged. I was making sure that.
And we've been. We got you. So listen.
Thank you for holding me over. I've been a little bit disengaged.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure get the word out there. Follow us.
Thank you for everybody. Thank you for everybody that's joining us. We're getting a little crowd coming in. Listen, folks. You got comments. You got questions. You don't agree. You agree. You want to add something? Just do me a couple of favors. Don't talk to me about no damn Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't talk to me about the New York Yankees because this is a fucking football show. Other than that, we can do this.
The fucking Yankees.
Hey, no, listen. So first things first. In a season full of shit shows, in a season that we just can I ask y'all a question? Forget that. Can I ask y'all a question? Did somebody graduate? Did something happen with the offensive line? Because it's like all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling a little better about them. I didn't say they. I'm just feeling a little better.
With what's his name?
Yeah, just don't talk about.
Yeah, right. He who should not be named.
On, y'all.
He who should not be named is no longer in the lineup. I mean, they're not. I mean,
no, they're not. They're
not Pro Bowl.
No, I know.
Now they're moving closer to an average line, which is all we asked.
Love you too. No Steelers talk at all. You just said it. You just put the word Steelers up on my damn screen. That's $25 you owe me.
They're moving towards average, which was all we asked for. Right? And I've been in, the rookie's been.
All I asked for
he hasn't. He's given up pressures, but no sacks. The other cat was giving up straight sacks. And so much so that he's leading the league probably still. I hadn't looked at the stat.
Yeah, but you about sure he still is probably, right? Oh, by the way, for those of y'all out there that have been used to seeing me, because it's true, I don't care. I get on camera. But for those of y'all who have been here with me through the years with my broken teeth, my gaps and shit, and all my busted up mouth, hey, what's up? So, Zoe, big win last night. We were talking, and when we left the call, few things we agreed on. The first thing we agreed on was the Titans weren't going to win.
The Titans what? I didn't hear it.
The Titans were not going to win. So,
we
agreed on that. And we knew that, like Zoe was like, I'm looking at this Levis 300 yards. I'm laughing like, dude, come on, man, don't fuck up the card and pick Levis for 300 yards. Zoe, what happened, man? Shit, just like exactly what we said.
Well, like you said, we ain't got to rehash it. We talked about it, and Slick got talked up. The game was a roller coaster ride.
For sure.
I definitely enjoyed the game. I'm glad we got the W. Day after Frank, like I said, a day after Frank Wycheck passing, I said the day before to Tweez that we might win this game simply because Frank Wycheck.
He did say it,
and that was before we even talked up the scenarios where we was trying to lay our bets.
And that's what led down the path of the scenarios.
Yeah.
Well, since you said that, what if the opposite happens? That's when we started the discussion.
Mm-hmm. And so the Levis had what I was really the most impressed about is how the team, they really fought the whole way through, really. They came out, we got the ball first, and a rough start by Levis. His passes were off. He threw the pick six, where they had to run 6 yards for the touchdown.
The pick six is arguably, though, you want to see him dirted, but the play call right then and there with our screen design, and the pitch at the
well, we've been lacking on all year.
Yeah.
No matter how you slice it, Levis should never have thrown that ball.
Yeah, he shouldn't have thrown it.
But no matter how you slice it. No matter how you
going back to the Tannehill joint, that one wasn't all on Levis. But you're right. Don't throw the ball. He's a rookie, so he gets more grace for this transgression, in my opinion.
And he started. So it started out rough, and then he started to find his groove. He needs to learn how to fucking slide, because we need you to be ready for beginning of next season in the off season. We don't need you to be recovering from fucking surgery because your ass out here. I love your tough. I love his toughness. But you need to get your ass on the fucking ground. Dude, you ain't got to run everybody over. I understand you cock diesel and shit, but
did you hear Rabel's press conference today? I don't know because we were busy working. Oh no, he said like, hey, we've been. Rabel's words was, and this is an approximation, right? But they're out there. Listen, people, just find it yourself. But he said, yeah, we've been stressing sliding, and we showed them videos, but now maybe we need to show them videos of quarterbacks getting fucked up or something like that for not sliding. Whatever it was, he said an expletive. Yeah, the shit,
something like that.
Yeah. He was like, we're gonna show them alternative videos now.
So hey. So here, let me draw this up for y'all. Y'all take it from here. About 5 minutes left in the game. 27-13. You just had big plays. You know, the what was that? The pitch or whatever it was, the Henry fumble.
That was fumble. I thought that was more on Levis, but
it was more. It was more Levis, and then of
you
course
want to see Henry fall on the but his momentum was go ahead.
Was taking him away, so he could exactly. And then the Mostert touchdown. So with about 5 minutes left, it's 27-13. Joe, take it.
You going? Oh, you don't went too far in the game. We still
no.
Because a lot went on before that.
No, we all gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. It's the Titans' big win. We summarizing the win right here, and then we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. 27-13 is over.
First thing that came out of my mouth was really Mike Vrabel might get fired on
what?
I've never even thought that. I'm glad I went there.
You thought that? I never thought that.
I mean, that was not the first thing that came out of my mouth. The first thing that came to my mind. But what I said was Mike Vrabel about to get fired. He might get fired at the end of the season. The way this collapsed, and this is what it looked like to me. Those back-to-back just.
That wasn't his fault. The quarterback threw the. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
At that point in time, we had the
muff punt.
The muff punt, and what was
his arm was grabbed.
He should have never been anywhere near it. And who?
Okay, yes, but his arm was grabbed.
Hold on. We just fired a special teams coach, and then this is the guy he put into place.
And he had a return that set up.
Am I going to finish my? Can I finish my statement? Can I finish?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what the fuck was I saying? He put this guy in place after firing the last special teams coordinator for having multiple fuck ups.
Mm-hmm.
He should be training up the player. Hey, the player, there can be no fuck ups in this game. And you're running your teammates off from it in fire drill mode, but you're not moving the fuck out the way. And why wouldn't you coach to not move the fuck out the way? What was the other fuck up?
His arm was grabbed, son.
It didn't matter. He shouldn't have been anywhere near the spot.
Yo, he had a nice return after that set them up for that game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
So if you take him out, he doesn't have that nice return.
I didn't say take him out.
He should not have fucked up, but he made up for it. That's all I'm saying. And they had a block. Deandre Autry.
I'm blaming the coach. I'm blaming. The question started. This whole thing started with Mike Vrabel. Vrabel might get fired. It looked like the team was completely collapsing. It looked like they were folding for the second week in a row. They were folding
when they was 2 touchdown underdogs. I don't know. I disagree. At no point I thought Vrabel's job was on the line from this game. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, that's a little deep right there. That's kind of deep.
Okay, it's not just okay. Yeah,
that's kind of deep right there. I was surprised when he said that. I mean, I was thinking because it was 27-13, and you know what I'm saying? Because at 27-13, I said I stayed up this long, and
it was the way it happened.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And then I said I stayed up this long. That's the first thing I said. I stayed up this long for this shit. It was a 13-13 game. It was a good ass game, and it was because it was so good. It kept me awake because I went to sleep 12 times, but I kept opening my eyes, and there was 20. I said, "Fuck it, I'm."
Because here's the thing: the coach is not the player. Guerra has been our punt return for the past several games. Because he makes a mistake out there, that's on the coach at this point. When he's been okay, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. That logically
in defensive zone, it was just
I don't need you. I don't need your defense. The coaching, the coach, special team coach that Vrabel put in place should have made sure in any scenario he should be talking to the goddamn punt returner. Can I finish my fucking thoughts?
Yeah,
I can't get anything out of that.
Yeah.
That's fine. Right. That's fine because I do this most of the time. It's usually me cutting motherfuckers off, and so it's really just me getting it back. It is what it is. So what? I don't know what you're saying.
We muted. Go.
Oh. Around the horn. Anyway, all right. So the coach, Vrabel put the coach in place. All right. So what was the other debacle that happened that caused them to get the ball for the other touchdown?
Bad
pitch.
And the pitch, the bad pitch.
The bad pitch. The bad pitch. That shit was horrible. I don't think. Question is that the play call you want to call at that time? You know what I'm saying? That's still Tim Kelly still making questionable play calls, and the team looked like it looked like a collapse. That's what it looked like. It looked like it was finna be over. We understand how the game ended, but at that moment in time, and the question you asked me we asked me what my first thought was at 5:47. So that's what I'm still trying to get through. So and then the rest of the game started to occur, and it's like, okay, they still played. They did. It wasn't what I thought it was. It looked like it was going to be another fucking meltdown, and giving away a game we should win. But they bounced back, resilient. They fought. Levis was outstanding. Down the stretch during that last little bit, which we'll get to later, and at the end of the game, it's like, not only is he not getting fired at the end of the season, he's pretty secure. He's gonna get a chance to work this out next season. I think like there's no. I think he's good for the rest of the season now. Like that one victory. Like I remember we was talking about it last week. He can't go out of here. We can't lose out the rest of the season.
Right. Yeah.
And it looked like we was about to win a game, and then it looked like we collapsed. And what I was fearing at that time was players was about to check out. And if that was going to be the case, and we're asking in the moment, that's what I thought.
Well, here was my moment. 27-13, I was like, ain't this a bitch? I've been fighting sleep, falling asleep, fighting sleep. You know how many times, look at me, cuz, look at me. You know how many times I did this? Look at me. No, you gotta look at me when I did. How many times I did this? I nodded about 264 times, man. It was like stupid. And at 27-13, when Mostert got that, when that pitch happened, and then Mostert scored and made 20, I said, fuck this. I stayed up all this just for this. I turned it off. I literally turned it off. I didn't even see the ensuing kickoff. I turned it off.
You was one of them people that Tweez was telling me about earlier.
I know. I'm one of those people that's too damn old to be awake at that time of night.
And it's understandable. And it was like, that was the first topic on the radio this morning. How many Titans fans, how many people turned the game off? And I was like, turn the game off? It was only three minutes left. You got just 3 minutes. Why turn it off?
All right, but see, I turned it off, but I had to go to the bathroom. So I went and turned it on the radio. I turned it on the radio. So
the way
I'm going to sleep,
that's different. You didn't tune out. That don't count because you turned it on the radio. Right. Mm-hmm. That's different. No, I'm saying people that just completely, to hell with this.
Well, you know they did. I'm
going to turn this off. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's just 30 minutes. You lasted 30 minutes. We were moving the ball. Their offense wasn't doing nothing. We gifted them 21 points. I knew we were going to score at least one touchdown. I'm not going to say I knew we were going to win it. I knew we were going to make it close. So I wasn't willing to tune out because Dolphins were without Tyreek Hill. That quarterback, that offense is trash. Without Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the show started. Me and Tweety was talking about that. It's true.
I didn't before the show. I didn't say it was, but on the show, I'm saying Tua is trash without Tyreek Hill.
In my defense, in about 15, 16, 17 years, when you're watching a Titan game at my age, you're going to find out. It's not wanting to tune out. It's your old ass can't stay awake. You just can't do it.
No, it was a long game. It went 3.5 hours.
Past my bedtime, man.
It went 3.5 hours. That was a long game. It was,
anyway,
it was a long game.
But mistakes keep happening. Mistakes keep happening, bro. I mean, it's and like you said, you made a great point.
It's a young team.
You get it. You fire one guy, you bring the other guy in, and everybody in that training room, locker room, and staff should have told the team, whatever we do, can we please not make these fucking mistakes? And it almost cost us.
So first of all, before I move into that, Tua is Kirk Cousins.
Damn, where'd that come from?
That's what Tua is. Tua is Kirk Cousins.
I feel you. He's only as good as the talent around him.
He's not that quarterback. He's not.
Will Levis was the better quarterback on the field that game, and it was glaring.
Yes,
glaring.
But mistakes, yes. There's one particular. I mean, he's a walking mistake, and he continues to happen over and over again.
And we're going to stay with the topic on mistakes, but we're going to switch it up a little bit.
Put Tyreek Hill on this offense.
So the mistakes
the
mistakes that we saw from Levis, the beginning of the game that we saw from Levis, because the beginning of the game was kind of like, oh, man, come on, kid, come on now. One after the other, bad throw, bad decision. Like you said, bro, he's going to have to learn. Somebody got to teach him how to slide, okay? You need a sliding quarterback teacher. All these little mistakes.
Pretty please.
But those last two drives, man, I'm telling you. So anyway, hold up. So I heard the touchdown on the radio. Of course, I had to turn it back on TV, obviously.
Okay. You went, that's right. You went to radio.
You know, right, because we scored so fast, like a minute and a half. We scored. We get
like three plays. It was 3 plays, like 76 yards. It was something crazy. It was crazy.
My hairs are standing because I'm looking at him like I'm looking into the future. I'm looking at him move the football and the way he's doing it with such command, but being such a young kid. And I'm looking and say, God, man, that, huh? What's up?
I thought y'all heard the. I was looking for a play. I thought y'all heard the sound come on in the background.
No. Not until we share it on the screen.
Okay,
that's the good news. I found that out the hard way, trying to play some music in the background on a political show, and I was like, "So how y'all like that?" And they were like, "What? You didn't hear? Y'all didn't hear that? No, we didn't hear anything. It only works when it's on the screen." Okay, but no, them last two drives, man. See that ball? I mean, think about it. A team that has been marred with such issues all year long, starting with the offensive line play that absolutely drove us crazy the first 8 weeks or so of the season. All of a sudden, when they needed to gel in a moment, in those last two drives, they did what was necessary. And Levis, like you said, 3 big shots, boom, 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 touchdown.
I do want to touch on this offensive line here in a moment, directly after this.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I want to hear what Tweez got, because Tweez did some little bit of homework. I want to see what he got on that the improvement on the line. And so, but Levis, I was watching the Manning cast this morning, and during the play, like Manning, Eli, Peyton especially, Peyton was really tossing Levis's salad. He was. Oh, he's great and all this and the way his strides he's made. I think he's really gonna blah 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 blah, because he went to the passing camp with Peyton. So what Peyton said, what he was built like as if he was built to be a quarterback. And so Peyton was doing all that tossing, and that's exactly when the play where he threw the interception, the pick six happened. I was like, damn, Peyton, I think you jinxed him. You was talking too hard. He was way up in there. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but that was really just another play in what I thought was about 4 or 5 really bad throws plays early on by Levis.
Yeah.
I felt like he was missing some receivers. I felt like on one play, D-Hop didn't do what he thought he would do, or to me it looked like it was Levis made the mistake. But Levis immediately was like, again, I'm like Levis, relax, chill out. And so, but the way he bounced back, overcoming those mistakes, keeping his mind right, got her in a little groove.
Yep.
And then when those plays happened, that he threw it, he had that bad play with the pitch, and then there was the other play that caused the Dolphins to score back-to-back touchdowns immediately. He could have folded. He could have folded right there, but that's not what he did. He showed a lot of moxie. Ain't that the word? Moxie.
Yeah.
Thompson,
by the way, shout out real quick to Kurt2512. Just subscribe to the NGSC Sports YouTube page. Of course, you can catch us on YouTube at NGSC Sports. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check us out on Facebook at NGSC Sports. Twitter, I'll never call it X, at NGSC Sports. Yeah.
No, X is just a fucked up ass name. Well, like what? Like Elon, for real?
I know. You know what I'm saying? But it makes sense. It makes sense that it's Elon Musk because he's such a fucked up person. So it just makes sense. But it is stupid,
like
right?
How I used to rep the X.
he calls it X. Hey, listen, let me ask you a question. The web guys. So if I was to change NGSC Sports to Ralph G Sports, wouldn't you recommend that I also change the URL?
Ain't the URL changed?
No.
You can change your listen, you can change the URL and you can have a redirect for when they go to the old URL, it'll automatically redirect.
He never changed it. It's still Twitter.
One.
He never changed it.
You silent. You silent then.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, because I know about the redirect because you want to make sure you get your old traffic, but he didn't change shit. He just put a big fucking X on there and said, well, this is the new home to what? Not a dumb motherfucker. Anyway, we ain't got time for Elon Musk on this damn show. Bro, you hit me up with that. Oh, no. Let's go to tweets. Tweets, offensive line play, man. Like I said, no, they not
okay.
On that. But listen, they needed to come through last night in less than 5 minutes against the mighty Miami Dolphins team. And if I'd have asked either one of y'all, if we'd have had a three-way last night with 4:59 left in the game, and it was 27-13, and I called both of y'all and said, hey, don't worry, Levis is finna lead 2 drives, come back and win this motherfucker. Y'all would have said, shit, you started smoking again?
No. Had Bradley Chubb pissed. Go ahead.
Offensive line play against the Colts, because we didn't discuss it on that last week's. We gave up 4 sacks. It wasn't really a good day by the line. Not really. However, even though, with that being said, we lost that game due to special teams. Fast forward a week later. For week 4. Hold on.
Only gave up 1 sack, man. Only gave up 1 sack.
Yeah. Here we go. 1 sack. But the grades, Duncan, it says a 50.5 and 5 pressures. Okay, I mean he was a 6th-round pick. So no 0 sacks. Yeah, you give up the pressures, but with this quarterback, he can make plays. So the key is the 0 sacks. Skoronski, a 49.6, did not have a good game. 1 sack with 5 pressures. Brewer, 61.4 with 4 pressures. Brunskill, 84.2, 0 and 0. No pressures, no sacks. Throckmorton, whoever this cat is. Mike Jones. No, but yeah. Whoever this cat is, he had a 74.7 with only 2 pressures. And Redunce, even with his false starting ass, he was a 62.1, no sacks, 3 pressures. So they played a better game than last week. And
better game than they have in weeks.
And the thing with Levis too, like I said, and what I love about him, because Redun's had the false start, we overcame that. We overcame it. He can overcome the dumb shit.
What you call him, dunce?
Yeah, when he said Reduns, I'm like, he changing the shit up. I like it though. It sounds good.
Dunce,
doing that shit on purpose.
Reduns.
What? Reduns? I like that.
Reduns. He's a dunce. He definitely like a dunce out there, motherfucker. Because
really,
Paul Kaharski called him out. Paul Kaharski called him out on Twitter, and like a dunce, he responded to Paul Kaharski on Twitter.
I saw that.
Yeah, that exchange was crazy itself.
No, it was a good game and a big moment for the offensive line there in the fourth quarter for an offensive line that is basically, let's be for real, sucked ass for the better part of this whole season. So to be able to get what they got from that offensive line on those last two drives, and then what that does moving forward for Will Levis, because we know you have talent as a quarterback in the NFL, but you got to build that confidence. You got to build that confidence.
You got to have a game. You got to have a game-defining performance. And I felt for his developing in state, this was it. This was better to me. This showed me more than the 4 TD game against.
Yes.
So I'm gonna sing a different tune here than I've been singing this entire season on this show. What I've seen the past couple weeks, while I still get very frustrated with him, Tim Kelly, I still get very frustrated with him at times. But overall, on the whole, his play calling has started to show improvement.
Yeah.
And I believe that some of his play calling, he's doing a little bit more side to side. He's giving Tajay Spears a little bit more play. That's probably Vrabel saying, I don't know. Anyway, but the offense looks better. We're moving the ball. There are times we still call, but it looks like we are a competent offense, and maybe he's finally getting comfortable with his role and getting comfortable with his quarterback. He's getting comfortable with his offensive line. And it seems that some of his play calling is helping the offensive line because his pressures are still happening, but their ball is being gotten out of there. So some coaching is happening there to get the ball out faster and calling the plays to allow him to get the ball out faster. So I would say that if Kelly can continue this current trend, I might stay out of his ass for one thing. Two, he might save his job. Shane Bowen still got to fucking go. I don't care.
No doubt.
I don't care if Tennessee Titans are one of 3 defenses to manage to make him hold the ball longer than 2.6 seconds on average. Titans, Chiefs, and Bills. He still got to go.
Yeah, he still got to go. And I got a question for y'all. And I just thought about it just now. Derrick Henry, 17 carries, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's had 6 touchdowns, in recent weeks, which is nice. But he can't get anywhere. He just
Tim Kelly.
Yeah, but hold on. How much is Derrick Henry? I mean, we can't just put it all on Tim Kelly. How much is it on Henry too, man?
I'd say 50% Tim Kelly. 30% the offensive line, 20% Derrick Henry.
Because it's not like Spears is over the past few weeks has like been had a whopping at the beginning of the year. He was like 6 yards average per carry.
Yeah, he wouldn't do. Yeah, he wouldn't
use 2 and 3 yards also. So when it's both backs, it's not them. It's the run blocking and the play calling. Miami sold out to stop Henry this game. He only averaged 2 yards per carry. I don't even know what. Let me look up Spears' numbers.
7 carries, 29 yards.
So exactly. And so the problem is like, to me,
that's
where his downfall is at. It's
4
predictable.
yards versus 2.
Yeah.
He was better than Henry even carrying the rock.
Where
But fortunately,
Hold
where are
on, Joe.
Derrick Henry's run plays happening? Where are Derrick Henry's run plays happening?
yeah, the
Between
formation.
tackles.
You can
Between
tell by the
tackles.
formation when
Every
Henry's
single
running
time.
the ball.
Every one of Tajay Spears carries, most of them are some type of off the tackle,
outside the tackle. Yeah.
or sweep. You know what I'm saying? Everything for Henry is an inside zone run, inside zone, dive up the middle, tight formation. Like some of them plays, like that was a play that happened. I wish I could find it, but it was a one of them plays where they had the motion going, and they Levis came out. I guess he tried to throw a pass, it ended up being a sack, whatever. But had that play should have went the other way around to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry finally they had him motioning in a way that would put him on the outside. They should have gave him that ball. It looked like it was some type of read option-ish type something, but Derrick Henry went one way and the rest of the play went the other way. It was an easy read. Once Levis got like 2 or 3 steps past where he could have given the ball to Derrick Henry, the defense was completely keyed on it. And looked like that defense, it was a really good play call, play design, but the play should have been in that design to give the ball to Derrick Henry and let him go around the other edge. That potentially could have been a big ass fucking run.
And speaking of Tajay Spears, 15 touches, 118 yards from scrimmage, which was the reason why I brought up Derrick Henry, because you have to have the question. I'll bring it to you, Tweez, with this. The question now is going to be, is Henry coming back? If he's not coming back, we look like we may have something with Tajay Spears.
Well, yeah. So I think if we can get Henry back for a reasonable price, we know it's versus his team, but it can't cripple us for the money we need for another position.
No.
But okay, what I'm going to say is I'm going to shout out to Will Lomas for an article with Titansize.com. And he pointed out that the way we ended this game should be the blueprint moving forward with this quarterback, right? So stress to intermediate. So we know Levis can throw deep. Stress the intermediate more with Chig Okonkwo and Tajay Spears being the safety release valves if no one else is open, right? So if we can stress more of that, that'll play to the strengths of our quarterback. Because to him, it was poor coaching up until they were forced to give it over to Will Levis to throw the ball to win the game, because multiple times we had run pass on a run pass and then a 3 and out.
That's another Tim Kelly.
And in the first half, he pointed out. I'm sorry. Just one last thing about something. He pointed out how most of the passing plays were just at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage on short screens. Like they didn't trust the quarterback to throw the ball down the field until they needed him to.
Still got to work
on
it.
And it started with trying to get the field goal at the end of the first half.
How come we're not incorporating more screen passes? Passes out in the flat. Joe talked about, Henry. He's a bull and a horse, but we know that you can use Henry on the outside too. He still got the speed. He still shows he got the speed, and don't let him get out.
Did you see that catch he made?
Right.
He said he channeled his inner D-Hop.
That's what he said.
Can we give D-Hop? Can we give D-Hop some props?
D-Hop, right? And he's helping our quarterback. Like this has been, and I'm gonna tell you what, when you consider the draft and the free agent signings, D-Hop with Will Levis has been perfect combination.
It has really worked out. Perfect. Now, on the next topic, as we get to closing out the show soon, defense. The Dolphins entered Monday night's game with 7 games of 30-plus points. 2 games of 45 points or more, and the 70 against the Dolphins. Good reason to believe that they were going to put up at least 50 last night. I mean, that's probably was a foregone conclusion. The defense comes up big, and the big place that they came up was when you have a Miami Dolphin offense that's clicking on all cylinders that it has all year, and they've been so good in the red zone. We hold them to 2 of 5, and they had to click 3 field goals in the red zone. That was huge because even though we gifted them the 21 points, they got 9 when they could have got 21. So the defense came through pretty big there.
So one thing that I noticed that they did was they let Eric Garrard finally play some defense, play cornerback.
Yeah.
And Eric Garrard was our number 1 defensive PF grade at 83.4.
Really? I'd be there.
Yes.
He balled.
Really?
He balled out. And
I love this play, but I didn't know he graded like that.
I mean, he's on like 5'8", but he's shifty. He's got some speed on him. And the other thing that really helped out our defense is, Tyreek Hill got hurt. Tyreek Hill being hurt helped out a whole lot.
Yeah,
helped out a whole lot because you saw what happened when he came back in the game.
Yeah,
and he was hobbled. He wasn't even. They could only play. He was a problem. Like that definitely helped our defense, especially in a game where we didn't have Jeffrey Simmons. Hence Raheem Mustard. And we should have thought about this yesterday when we was making the dang on parlays, and nobody said anything about Raheem Mustard. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 21 carries, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Mostert leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. I believe he has 17 now on the season. We should have taken that.
I did call that Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns though, even though
you did, and I told you no, I didn't like that, but it goes to show. That's why we're gonna switch it up on the best this week, because I can't blame my brother and my cousin for losing my money, although I do want to blame them. Trust me, I was talking shit. I was talking shit about y'all. As soon as I seen that Tyreek Hill wasn't getting them 2 touchdowns and our cards were all fucked up, man, I looked at my phone. I don't know how much I want to call these mother.
Hell, my alternate cards didn't hit either. The way the game script played out, because of Tyreek Hill getting hurt, because the defense held their offense down. They only scored offensive touchdowns because we had turnovers that put them right.
They gave them points.
Right in the red zone, So, like, if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have even. That's how messed up their offense was. Once Tyreek Hill went out the game, we were already going. I figured we were going to get some pressure onto it. I figured that would happen. But hey, that's what I need to look at. I hadn't checked his stats, but Harold Landry had a 68.1. I saw Harold Landry a lot in that game, and he looks like
he's fully recovered now. Yeah,
yes.
He's fully recovered.
Yes, that's what it looks. That's exactly what it looks like, Tweez. I'm trying to work on calling Tweez.
Hold on. Yeah, so he had 4 solo tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 3 sacks.
3 sacks.
3 sacks.
He lead the team in sacks, then, don't he?
I think now, yeah.
That wasn't going to be too hard to do anyway.
Well, no.
Sacks have not been a premium. But no, listen. Shout out while you're looking that up. Shout out
Arden Key got him a sack in there. He had some good brushes, some good plays.
Arden Key got 1. Jaleel Johnson got a sack. So 5 sacks total. And listen again, give the defense it's just due, because if one of those red zone field goals is a touchdown, we lose.
And Danico Autry blocked that block. I heard a stat. He got 12 career blocked kicks. Like who the fuck does that?
Yeah, he's always had that knack. Always had that knack. No, listen, a great win. We were saying it. We were looking at it, 5 games left. 0-5. And nice to get that win.
Listen to this.
Go ahead.
Harold Landry does not lead the team in sacks.
No.
Harold Landry is number 2 with 8.5 sacks after the 3-point sack game. The person who I just got through mentioning
That's
about
right.
Flunky
Autry.
Kicks,
He has
Danico Autry has 9 sacks.
9 sacks. Right. He got 9 sacks. That's right. That's right.
And Jeffrey Simmons has 5.5, and Arden Key has 5. I thought Arden Key would have more sacks, but what I'm seeing is the healthier that Harold
Landry is, the more effective.
The more Arden Key starts to get.
Yes. And that's how it works. That's how it works.
But that has nothing to do with coaching. So Shane Bowen, regardless of how this, Shane Bowen got to fucking go, because we've had pieces in. At least on the front 7, we got enough pieces in place that it should the secondary shouldn't have had to deal with the QB having as much time as they've had to deal with this season. When we know if you know your secondary is trash, I feel like a fucking broken record. I keep saying it over and over again. If you know your secondary is trash, put pressure on the quarterback. Right. You got all these pieces that you can rush the passer
your
with.
Front 7. Use your them. Front 7. Especially when you got a front 7 like we got. Use them. So let's see. We'll see how that goes. But listen, big win, guys. Big win.
I'd love to see what the blitz percentage was for the Titans in this game. That would be a hell of a stat to find.
Yeah, and for the season.
This game versus the season, I noticed for the season, it's got to be low. The blitz percentage has got to be one of the lowest blitz percentages in football.
Because if we were playing a video game and I chose the Titans, I know I blitzed more in one game than they had them blitzed the whole season. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because you got guys like that. You got to use them. But I like what you said there. That's right. The more Harold Landry progresses, the more other players feed off of it and get better from it. And it has nothing to do with coaching. You're right.
Other number I saw, I can't remember where I saw it at. I saw it on Twitter. It said Kevin Byard's PFF grade since he joined Philly is like a 66. And the player we got back in that trade since he joined our team is like a 68 PFF grade.
Hey, then I mean, at the very least, you can say it was a wash trade and we got a draft pick out of it. But you can't trash the GM for it.
No, can't trash the GM for it. Ain't like he traded away AJ Brown right before he even got to his prime, when he was already an all-pro wide receiver. And,
he wouldn't have done it because don't you know he was instrumental in keeping Debo? They sent him to personally talk to Debo.
Yeah, you was telling me that.
Crazy. So
what's next on the list here?
What's next on the list?
We at the end. Oh, defense holds Miami offense. Yep, that's the mighty Dolphins.
That's what we were talking about just now. The fact that the defense just held. I
70.
Yeah, I knocked it down to just defense. But yes, the defense holds the mighty Dolphins. Come up big and a big win, 28-27. And now we look forward to next week. And you start thinking that, wait a minute.
Before we move next week, let me tell you what I did most of the ride home, most of the next 45 minutes after the game. I fucking laughed a whole lot. It was nothing but laughter. I wasn't cheering and celebrating. It was wonderful. But all I could do was just laugh at how fucking funny and crazy this NFL weekend was, how funny that game was. The Dolphins, the Giants and Packers game with DeVito Corleone.
DeVito. Tommy lives with his parents. Tommy still lives.
I know. That shit's so awesome, yo. Like the mom take care of him, wash his clothes.
They said Tommy lives with his parents, and he loves his mom's chicken cutlets.
We lost a lot of money on gambling. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of money, but we lost enough money that I didn't want to lose it. Anyway, in 2 days, it was just a crazy weekend. It was a crazy Sunday. It was a crazy Monday night, and we pulled off a miracle. Thank you.
How about that,
Frank Wycheck? Appreciate that.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. Hey, how about that? How about that barn burner in Las Vegas? Vikings 3.
Yo,
Raiders
I was
none.
right to leave that game off my card. I looked at it and it felt the stink. I was like, I can't pick this one. I'm just not going to even want to. I left it on my card for it.
3-0. The NFL's lowest scoring game in 16 years. 3-0.
Come on, man.
Was it? Hey, Hudson, was it a stank like what was the RPD department? Was it a stank like that? That stank.
Yeah, when I looked at it visually and I felt like a stench in my. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay away from this one. I'm gonna stay away from this.
By the way, I know we all know this, but Brock Purdy's a real deal.
He's nice.
Nice. He's straight up in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. And you know what?
All right.
If you got Debo and McCaffrey, I mean, damn boy, that's 2 weapons.
But here's the thing,
boy.
So if it was so easy, what's his name? Would have been nice with them.
What
the
would
one
be
that got
real
shipped
nice?
off.
Go ahead.
What's his name? The one Zoe interviewed. What's his name, Zoe?
Garoppolo.
Yeah, Garoppolo could do it if it was so easy. So you got to give him his props.
Yeah.
Other quarterbacks with the same team didn't have this success. I mean, he's out there throwing the spots.
And a message to the Cowboys. And a message to the Dallas Cowboy fans, okay? This is a PSA, a very serious PSA. Calm the fuck down. They're still not going to do anything in the playoffs, okay? It's the Cowboys. They are exactly who we thought they were, okay? They not.
Because about a fact, I'm tempting to pick them for.
They just won the Super Bowl
this week. I'm tempted to pick them. Hold on, who they play? Let me log in.
Yeah. So
if y'all know who they play,
just to let everybody out there know. Yeah. Hey, I'm a Titans fan through and through. I love my Titans, but I do have a second number 2 team that I believe I'm allowed to have because that was the first team I chose when I was growing up. We didn't have the Titans, and we had my team. I chose my first football game I ever remember watching. I'm going to tell the story real quick. Was Broncos versus the Niners in the Super Bowl. I liked red better than blue. Chose the red team. I was a 49ers fan. And I've been waiting. I switched from being a 49ers fan diehard to a Titans fan diehard in that season, that 99 season that we eventually became the Titans.
Okay.
It was the Tennessee Titans were
still seemed like you had like 55 different fucking teams.
No, I did. No, I did. Never had no 55 teams. I never had 55 teams.
You had all kinds of damn
teams. I could play with teams on Madden and Tecmo Bowl. I could play with many different teams, but I only had one hard at the time.
That's going way back.
I had Frisco.
I was saying the receivers, and Frisco had not only did they have Jerry Rice, they had John Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they learned about that.
They had Gary Clark. I mean, it was just what not to
all
like.
I knew was the color was red, and they had red.
But
I was also a Frisco fan. But
you're right. They had Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, one of the greatest to ever play the game. But let me tell y'all something.
Didn't know that
because obviously this is my time in football. Joe Cool was all that and more. I mean, first of all, you're talking about a quarterback. Not only he couldn't be beaten in the Super Bowl, he was virtually perfect.
Okay, Mama.
I mean, God Almighty, Joe Montana was no joke. Joke. Boy.
So I was a Niners fan. I was a Niners fan.
You were.
We played. The Niners played against the Titans. The Titans were 4-0. The Niners were 3-0. It was like week 4, week 5, whatever it was, week 5, and I was pulling for the Niners in that game, and it was such a tug of war in my heart. and that after the Niners won that game, and I felt no satisfaction. I knew then that I could no longer be a Niners fan like I have been my entire life.
Yeah,
I knew then. And so I jumped ship. I was like, I'm a Titans fan through and through.
Yeah.
This situation ever happened again, I know where my loyalties lie. Because
that was good. That was good.
Then we ended up in the Super Bowl.
Because that's what happened to me in the season. I started the 99 season still a Giants fan. But as that season wore on, boy, and that fever started to catch around the town, and it was Titans everywhere. Anywhere you went, boy, McNair. I mean, think about this. I remember a story. Eddie George told the story years later about when McNair got his sternum hurt. Oh. And he goes into, they don't see Steve. They're practicing because, Steve didn't practice. So they don't practice. Yeah. At the end of practice, Eddie and Jeff Fisher are walking together, and they're looking for Steve. So they go to the room, the medical room where Steve is at, and he's laying there. And Eddie said he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing. There was no way he was getting up off that. He was just, and so they told him, we can do it. We'll take care of it. When Renee looked at them, was like, well, somebody think I'm not going to play? I'll be there Sunday. And he just, to watch this man do what he did for this football team. And before we get out of here on final thoughts, one more time, rest in peace, Frank Wycheck. Thank you so very much. Very much.
Yeah.
Speaking from my heart, you, Eddie, and Steve were the three main reasons, Blaine Bishop the fourth on defense, that literally turned it for me that year. Turned me straight up blue to Titan blue. And God, rest in peace up there, Frank. Hey, by the way, Frank, you do everybody a favor. I know you've done it already. Give Steve a big hug and send him all the love from Tennessee. All the love from Tennessee. Never forgotten number 9. Show it, cuz. Never forgotten number 9. Never, ever forget number 9. Ever forget number 9. And then I'm going to get a Frank Wycheck jersey. I'm going to order Frank Wycheck.
Yeah, I'm saying need that 89 as well.
I know, bro. I know. I mean, when you're a fan, and you're a fan as hard as we are, and what they gave us that year and those next 4 years, you knew one thing, and every NFL team knew it. When the Tennessee Titans took the football field, your ass was going to feel it. Every minute, every play for 4 quarters. So, yeah. And gentlemen, we reached that part where I ask, Sweet, give me your final thoughts.
Yo, I think this was a really important win for the confidence of the quarterback and for us as fans to see his progression for what he did against the odds in prime time. He showed us he's a baller. He has the it factor, which is important moving forward. So
very important.
But with that being said, the way we've been playing the past 2 weeks, I see us winning against Houston at home.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I know, right? Bro, final thoughts.
We go to Houston this weekend. Houston comes here this weekend, and they go do the Frank Wycheck tribute. I'm pretty sure of it. They're wearing the Oilers blue. He came here. The Titans came here. He came here. The Oilers came here. So he got a chance to wear those jerseys. He wore those jerseys in Houston, wore those jerseys here. Makes me really want to not sell my tickets and go ahead and go to the game. But we shall see how that plays out. I think that this Houston game is a game we can win, especially if Stroud doesn't play. But they're also hindered by Tank Dell. Tank Dell's gone for the season. Their rookie wide receiver, and then Nico Collins is dinged up. Yeah. And I know these things because my fantasy football team has been fucked up over it. And so my
Can't miss it.
My final thoughts is, fuck this football season. You messing up my fantasy money.
That's a hell of a. I'm glad I retired. My final thoughts are a phrase, one to build on. In a season that has basically been lost, in a season that started as a Titan fan, for Titan fans and the Titans themselves, in a season that started and got to the point of, I mean, you think about it, we had 5-6 straight weeks of doing this show where we all just came on here like, okay, well, let's just do this shit because it was bad. It was bad. And I got to the point where I'm telling the wife, this is what the show is going to be like the rest of the year. We're just going to come on and just be like, let's talk about all the bad shit that happened. And Zoe brought it up, the offensive play, the play calling lately has been much better. So one to build on. We have Texans at home. We have Seattle at home. Now, all of a sudden, you look and say 2 winnable games in a row. To go, by the way, first road win. Last night was a big win. First road win of the season. To build on the possibility of 2 Texans at home. We'll see what happens. Finish up the season at home with the Jaguars. All of a sudden, you start looking at the last 4 games like, you know what? Is it crazy to think that in the last 5 they could win 4? No, it's not crazy now. Not crazy. Possible? No. But last night was one to build on. Thank you for joining us.
Didn't count.
Yeah. Then, hell no. Not even close, man. This is the Everything Titans podcast, of course, the NGSC Sports Weekly Tennessee Titans Show. I'm your host, Ralph Garcia, of course, joined by my cousin, Antoine Hudson. We call him Tweezy. We call him Huds. I call him Gray, one or the other. And, of course, my little bro, Zoe, Sports Gonzo, Twitter. We never call it X, at Zoe Bradford _65. You know where to catch us. Facebook at NGSC Sports, Twitter at NGSC Sports, YouTube, that's right, at NGSC Sports. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all joining us. And, of course, we always end the show with little bro letting us know, what was that?
Tighten the fuck up, y'all.
Henry, he's going to pass it. Touchdown. Touchdown, Titans. There are no flags on the field. Tennessee has pulled a miracle. And that's going to be picked off at the 24 by Myers for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question. Just continue to stay consistent and focus on improvement